Hey everyone! Welcome back to the channel. If you love NFL news, especially when it involves one of the biggest teams in the league like the Dallas Cowboys, then today's video is absolutely for you. We're diving deep into some breaking news that's got the football world buzzing. Jadeveon Clowney, one of the most dynamic defensive players of the last decade, just said some things about possibly signing with the Cowboys that you won't believe. Trust me, you're going to want to stick around for this because what he said could completely change the narrative around the Cowboys' defense going into the next season. Whether you're a hardcore Cowboys fan or just love following NFL drama, this story has everything: history, hype, and a dash of uncertainty that keeps it interesting. So, before we get into what Clowney actually said, let's take a quick moment to appreciate the kind of player he is. Jadeveon Clowney was once one of the most hyped defensive prospects in NFL history. Drafted first overall back in 2014 by the Houston Texans, Clowney was an absolute physical marvel, a freak athlete with the speed, power, and instincts to wreck offenses. You may remember his unforgettable hit during his college days at Clemson, a play that went viral and instantly made him a household name among football fans. Over the years, even though injuries have slowed him down here and there, Clowney has proven he can still bring the heat. He's played for multiple teams, including the Texans, Seahawks, Titans, Browns, and most recently the Patriots, and in every place, he's been a disruptive force on defense. He's that kind of player who, when healthy and motivated, can change the entire game just by his presence on the field. Now, why does this matter to the Cowboys? Well, Dallas has been trying hard to solidify their defense over the past couple of seasons. Their offense is stacked, no doubt, with stars like Dak Prescott, CeeDee Lamb, and Micah Parsons bringing energy and skill, but on the defensive side of the ball, the Cowboys have been a bit inconsistent. Sure, Micah Parsons has emerged as a true superstar, a game-changer at linebacker, but the front line still needs more bite. The pass rush, in particular, has been a concern for fans and analysts alike. Getting consistent pressure on opposing quarterbacks is critical in today's NFL, and that's where someone like Jadeveon Clowney could come in and make a huge difference. The Cowboys want to build a defense that can keep up with their high-powered offense and compete deep into the playoffs. Clowney could be that missing piece. So, here's where things get really interesting. In a recent interview that has caught fire on social media, Jadeveon Clowney didn't just casually mention Dallas. He spoke in a way that hinted there might actually be serious discussions behind the scenes. He said something along the lines of, "Dallas is a city that respects defense. The Cowboys have been working to build something special on that side of the ball, and honestly, I wouldn't mind being a part of that." Now, that kind of statement from a player like Clowney is huge. He's not just throwing out feelers, he's acknowledging Dallas as a serious potential destination. What makes it even more compelling is that he didn't just stop at the positives. Clowney also talked about the weight of the Cowboys' legacy and the intense spotlight players are under in Dallas. He said it's not just about signing a contract, it's about being ready for the pressure, the expectations, and the constant scrutiny that comes with playing for America's team. That kind of honesty is rare and makes you think he's carefully weighing this decision, fully aware of what it would mean to join the Cowboys. This kind of openness about both the allure and the challenges makes this news feel very real and not just a typical player trying to stir up interest. It's the kind of comment that can spark serious speculation, and that's exactly what it has done. Cowboys fans are dreaming about the possibility of pairing Clowney's raw power and veteran savvy alongside Parsons' speed and athleticism. Imagine the nightmares that opposing quarterbacks would have facing that kind of duo on every snap. The defense would be much tougher to scheme against, and the team overall would have a much better shot at locking down games in the playoffs. The Cowboys have made it clear in recent years that they're serious about bringing home a championship, and adding someone like Clowney would show that their front office isn't messing around. But, of course, there are questions to consider. Clowney has had his share of injuries and setbacks, so the big concern for Dallas would be whether he can stay healthy and deliver at the level that they need. Injuries can derail a player's impact very quickly, especially on the defensive line, where every snap is a battle of strength and endurance. Then there's also the question of how Clowney would fit into the Cowboys' defensive scheme and culture. Does his style complement Micah Parsons and the rest of the unit? Would his veteran presence help or disrupt team chemistry? These are the questions the Cowboys' coaching staff and management will have to figure out if they want to make a move. Another critical angle is the contract situation. Teams have to balance star power with salary cap realities, and getting Clowney would almost certainly require a smart, team-friendly deal, maybe a shorter contract with incentives based on performance. The Cowboys have to weigh how much they're willing to invest in a veteran who might be in the twilight of his prime but who could also give them a boost that helps push them over the edge. It's a high-stakes gamble, but one that could pay dividends if everything clicks. Looking back at the Cowboys' recent offseason strategies, they've tried to chase big-name defensive players before. There was the attempt to land Aaron Donald, which of course didn't work out, but it showed the front office's commitment to improving the defense through free agency. Adding Clowney would be in line with that aggressive approach, signaling to the league and fans that Dallas is going all in on defense. The media buzz alone would be massive. Clowney signing with the Cowboys would dominate headlines, create excitement on social media, and boost ticket sales and merchandise. The Cowboys are already one of the most followed teams in the NFL, and bringing in a player with Clowney's name recognition and highlight reel moments would only amplify their spotlight. When I spoke to a few NFL insiders and analysts about this possibility, opinions were mixed but leaned towards cautious optimism. Some believe Clowney's skill set is exactly what the Cowboys need to take the next step. Others raised valid concerns about his injury history and wondered if he still has the same explosiveness he showed earlier in his career. One analyst said, if Dallas signs Clowney, they're betting on a rebound, a high-risk, high-reward player who can single-handedly change the course of a game. That's a fair summary. Clowney is a player with massive upside but also potential downsides. The Cowboys have to decide if that risk aligns with their championship timeline. From the fan perspective, the reaction has been electric. Cowboys Nation is known for its passionate and vocal support, and the possibility of Clowney joining the team has sparked a lot of debate. Some fans are ecstatic, dreaming about a ferocious defensive front that could dominate the NFC East. Others are more cautious, wanting to see official confirmation and worrying about how injuries might affect Clowney's production. But one thing is clear, everyone is paying close attention. This is exactly the kind of storyline that gets the fan base fired up for the upcoming season. So what happens next? We're in the early stages of the NFL offseason, which means there's a lot of time for negotiations, rumors, and strategic moves. The Cowboys could officially pursue Clowney with a formal offer, or this could be a case of feelers being sent out to gauge interest on both sides. Clowney's camp will likely consider all options, weighing the Cowboys against other teams that might also be interested. The contract details, the role Clowney would have on the defense, and how this fits into the Cowboys' broader roster building plans will all be factors to watch. The next few weeks and months are going to be crucial. In the end, this isn't just about one player or one team. It's about how the Cowboys are positioning themselves in a league that's becoming more competitive every year. Adding a veteran pass rusher like Jadeveon Clowney could signal their intent to compete at the highest level and shake up the balance of power in the NFC. For fans and analysts alike, this story will be one to follow closely, because if it happens, it could define the Cowboys' season and maybe even their championship hopes. All right, Cowboys fans, I want to hear from you. What do you think about Jadeveon Clowney's comments and the possibility of him signing with Dallas? Are you excited, skeptical, or somewhere in between? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this deep dive into the latest Cowboys news, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more updates as the offseason unfolds. Thanks for watching, and as always, go Cowboys!